Nutmeg and Rabbi. Okay, just talk to Nutmeg. Hey, it's each. Want something? We have one trust. How do we get that? I'm not sure. How about some demon meat? Demon real food really is tasty, but don't you think it'd be even better in hamburger form? I once asked for some of this from a subspecies food cart that sold it, but they had none at the time. Tasty, I want to eat some more. Teach, you've been super happy about all the presents you've given us. We talked amongst ourselves to figure out what we had that would be most useful to you. Here, we'd like to give you this. We picked this, take it. 13 magical soul rocks. Hey, Teach, want something? Alright, better. Normal squeezing. You want to do it with us, Teach? You made our room just like the hamburger place for now, so what'll you do? You want to play with us like before, or you want to pick someone? Pick someone. Very well, we'll move to the other side and wait for your signal. Even just watching is fun, so I don't mind if I don't get to have him. Let us chat. Sure, what do you want to talk about? About the three. You want to know about us three, Teach? Sure, I'll tell you anything you want. What do you want to know specifically? Though, I'm pretty sure we covered most things back in the hamburger joint. But first of all, could you stop with the Teach thing? With that uniform you're wearing, it makes you feel borderline criminal. And actually, based on those clothes, would I be right in guessing that you three were students at the local high school here? Yeah, we were second years. Though, since we're talking about when we were humans, that was like 20 years ago. Though, I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I think when I did it, it was more like they're closer to 20 now, instead of it being 20 years ago. However, because we couldn't graduate, we went and borrowed our old school uniforms from a place that still had some in storage. It helps us remember what it was like back then. But like I thought, my wings got in the way of putting my uniform on all the way, and that's when I started talking about the hamburger place. The clothes I had from when I was taken and locked up in that facility were all so tattered that by the time we escaped, I was basically naked. It's not like I'd freeze to death or anything, but I just wanted to wear some clothes, you know? I used to be human, and I'm still, like, civilized and junk. So my uniform isn't some kind of magical demon creation, it's just a normal school uniform you got from somewhere? That explains why it seems a little more wrinkled since meeting you at the hamburger place. That's right, I don't have to worry about it getting dirty in here, but I'd worry about it as I'm flying around in the outside world. So it'd get dirty during the battles and stuff, and the pleats would get all creased somehow. I'll leave you to take care of the dry cleaning, Teach. Oh, could you take care of my school swimsuit while you're at it? It has gradually started absorbing my slime instead of repelling it. It won't come out in a water wash, and with my slime constantly secreting, it has become difficult to remove it. Hold on. You think a priest like me could casually take a Greece girl's school uniform and a school swimsuit to the dry cleaners? My excessive contact with demons might be gradually breaking down my sense of ethics, but even that's a little too much. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Think of it like practice for your future daughter. You know, like that Nina-chan. Nina's not even an elementary schooler yet! What kind of crazy practice is that? And aren't these clothes stolen? I'll end up in a cell if someone gets suspicious and calls the police. It'll be fine. Every drop of stuff on the clothes is absorbed when they drained your energy. So nothing would show up on a black light. Oh, like on those overseas cop shows? Can those things even show stuff? That's not the problem, and we're getting more and more off topic now. Well, putting aside the cleaning thing, like I told you before, we used to hang out together at that hamburger place when we were human. And also, like I said before, the reason why we started hanging out was because we all had some kind of sixth sense. It was those sixth sense that made people not want us around. We even got frozen out at school, so us three would hang out together in town. We get involved in some pretty spicy stuff sometimes. And obviously I started doing the compensated dating thing with old guys to make some money, and that's when we got abducted. I really shouldn't have gone that far. Our memories are hazy, but I believe those men were lying in wait for Nut Dono as she went back home through the hotel alley. That was when they approached her. At first I had thought their actions the result of us letting our guards down, but it appears they had intended to capture all three of us as part of some plan. That compensated dating was like that. Nut was the only one trying to earn money in such a dangerous way. I think I remember Nut getting real angry at us when we said we'd help her out with it. Thing with that is it's hard to say no when it's just one girl. Plus, as much as I hate to say it, those two wouldn't have been able to pull a guy to save themselves. It was one of the situations like crossing a rickety bridge, because, it wouldn't be any safer with more people on there, so getting these two involved would be pointless, you know? Men in suits. Do MOW kidnap people on such a large scale to turn them into game pigs for their experiments? I'm curious about those men, but was that sixth sense you all had really so strong that it drove you to such a point? Mine wasn't all that amazing. I could, see ghosts and stuff. The other two had ones that were way crazier than mine. They could see ghosts, but the ghosts could see them back, and they'd be followed around by spirits asking for their help. That's why when those guys in suits showed up, we thought they were some kind of spirit at first. Naturally, with no way to aid wayward spirits, we ignored them, but that did not concern them. They had tried to distract me while reading, and having 10 or 20 spirits constantly whispering and following me around started making conversations with people difficult. Even when I kept ignoring them, more and more would keep appearing again and again. It was such a hassle. But the weird thing is, after we met Nut and started hanging out together, they gradually stopped appearing. Grudge things like wandering spirits, like gloomy places and hate bright places, that go for a force field humans make as well. Cheerful force field made by those three having fun probably kept grudge wandering spirits from getting close. Well, anyways, that hasn't been a problem since we became demons. They can sense us three, but they don't seem interested anymore. But it's not like us three are gonna stop being together just because we don't need to anymore, and there's no reason to stop anyway. Of course being friends is way more fun than being alone, but after Nutno saved my life, I could not possibly say farewell to our bond. That's right. Like Yona said, wandering spirits do indeed hate force fields of cheerfulness, but it's difficult for human beings to generate them. The second someone's not truly enjoying themselves or lets in painful emotion, that powerful field will quickly collapse. Those three really are good friends. chat about Nut. According to Akiyama-san, you're some kind of special vampire species. Yeah, that's a feature of my species. I guess the fact I can only really be active at night makes me sound kind of like a vampire, huh? I never paid much attention to the old tech back in the lab. It's only half good. But they used some stuff with demon essence added into it and merged it into my body or something. If I recall, you said we were the second batch of specimens, and that our stable progress would permit follow-up experiments. You said that we would each be administered our own demonic essence in an experiment that would grant us special abilities to match our altered bodies. So after the experiment, I'd get full of beans at night and dead tired during the day, and I'd lick the hell out of my partner's neck. So my special ability was basically being a vampire. At the time, I just thought I'd awoken some kind of neck fetish in me. Huh? You didn't know? The other two were being given powers too, right? Even then you didn't pick up on what was happening? There was an accident. We were messing around after escaping the facility, and I just kind of did it. She was crying out how much she was enjoying it while she held on to me, and then suddenly she chomped down. It didn't hurt, but it gave me a fright. So it happened twice? Since then, we are energetic at night and drained during the day. In other words, we have both become vampires like Nut Dono. Though we do not reach the same heights of activity Nut Dono does, we can move with agility during the night, so I do not much mind it. I can't really be agile, but daytime is when I nap. So I wish I could ask you to join us, but I know a priest who only operates at night would look pretty shady, not to mention be inconvenient. Well, I'd rather suck your saliva and stuff dry than your blood anyway. There's a certain part I want to suck on instead of your neck. What's wrong, Teach? Your crotch getting restless. Let's change the subject! What about your other abilities, like that ultrasonic attack? You might not have realized you were a vampiric, but you must have known you could knock people out since you were using it on people. Well, of course I did. They made me experiment with it on animals, but none of them did anything more than faint. But none of those guys who were watching, you included, seemed happy with that result. They say the force was too weak and stuff. According to conversations I eavesdropped on, her ability was supposed to have an effect even on other demons, but even simple magic can block it. I have no memory of what was said back then, but it made no sense to me when Kage Onna Dono nullified Dono's attack. I know I'm saying this about myself, but I'm one of the lowest of the lowest grade of demons. Though I have Emblem's protection, if even I can provide his way to block it, they're not anywhere near useful in battle. Yes, but I have Teach's power in the emblem. I think he'll work on wandering spirits. Oh, I'll work hard for you, Teach. So stop by and keep me company whenever you want, Kay? Well, like I said, stop it with the Teach thing. About Meg. You wish to inquire about me? What should I say? As you can see, I'm a frog demon. My moniker is Beelzebufo. It's from a large frog that existed during the Cretaceous period. Meg! You're going a mile a minute again. Teach probably can't keep up. Meg's fine interjecting into the conversation, but the second she's the subject, she suddenly fumbles. Or, like her mouth starts going into overdrive. I became nervous. Speaking is not one of my qualities. I enjoy listening to those two speak much more. I wish I had the appealing characteristics of Nutmeg and Rabbi Dono. I'm afraid I'm but a frog and nothing more. What are you talking about? With your speed and mucus, you got tons of qualities. You always look so cute. And yeah, there are quite a few humans who don't like frogs and reptiles, but Teach would have started talking to you if he thought that way. Was your samurai way of speaking because you wanted to stand out more? Huh? You mean you don't normally speak like that? Well, I suppose not many people speak like that nowadays. No, I feel like I appended Dona to people's names back when I was human. And when I got this body, I could jump to the roof and get into all variety of crawl spaces. I was moving as if I were an actual spy. Dona then remarked that I was like some kind of ninja, a profession I admired since childhood, and hence I elected to adopt this pattern of speech. This manner of speaking is reminiscent of ninjas, wouldn't you agree, Richard Dona? Well, yeah. I've heard it a lot in movies and TV for sure. Also, out of us three, Meg studied the hardest at school. Whenever she wasn't with us, she had her head in a book. My memories from being human are fuzzy, but I clearly remember that. All our random knowledge comes from Meg. That's right, it was Meg who told us about our biological weapon names come from animals in the dinosaur times. With regards to Sixth Sense issues, I simply wish to focus on something to distract me. In that case, it was manga that I enjoyed. I was not diligently studying. I would read the same pages of the same book over and over again. The quality of my reading would not make me interactive by any means. Thinking back now, that was probably not the best course of action. My poor speaking ability is likely to result in my decision to avoid speaking over much with others. With not normally broadcasting most topics, it had been a problem until now. This is your fault, Richard Dono. What? I don't get it, but suddenly it's all my fault? Why is it my fault that your trouble with speaking is not a problem? Meg has the highest sex drive of the three of us. That's because she got succubus essence put inside her. So after the hamburger place incident, she's been taking the whole time about how much she wants to eat you. Her breathing was real ragged until just before you got here. How'd you tell Rabi Dono? Why did you pick up on that and relay that particular line to him? Meg's been suppressing the urge to swallow you whole ever since meeting you. It's like a, student going through puberty thing. Like they're suddenly aware of their feelings. Their heart starts racing, they want to talk to you, but they can't find the words. It's probably just like that. Students not normally eat person they fall in love with. Exactly so. Were I lose myself to that impulse, I fear I would truly become a frog. Whether these feelings are lustful and romantic feelings, or simply a desire to eat, I must confess I do not know. Who cares? You can figure that out later. You might even be able to swallow Teach whole, but first you gotta do your best to win him over. Go on, that's not your only quality, right? Since he asked, you might as well tell him about all the others. You say that, but aside from my ninja-like qualities, there's only the slime that continuously secretes from me. It acts like a natural lubricant without any accompanying aphrodisiac pleasure. Aside from its texture, it has no seductive properties. However, mimicking an ancient toad oil, it does have some magical restorative effects. It also appears to have an effect on demonic magical abnormalities. That's right! When my tummy hurt one time, she put some slime on my belly, and the pain was gone straight away. I was so surprised. I'm pretty sure that only happened because you ate so many burgers that your body couldn't convert them to magic fast enough, let alone digest them. So, Richard Dono, if you sent me in the midst of battle, I'm certain my mucus can be of use to you. I might not be able to provide direct support to the same extent as the others, but I am confident in my ability to help you evade attacks. So, if you like, I could lather you in mucus right away or something. Perhaps you have an injury somewhere. I don't! You already start trying to coat me in that stuff before I even answered. Alright, chat. About Rabi. If it isn't Mr. Priest, you want to talk to me? I'm sleepy right now. Want to have a nap with me? There's no such thing as day or night in this hotel, but Rabi's always sleeping! She never spent much time being active even after getting outside, but she moves real slow because her thoughts are a little slow. She only gets active when my vampire power finally kicks in at night. You could say she really does everything at her own pace. Rabi's biological weapon name is a Procoptodon, a kangaroo from the Cenozoic era, though kangaroos have a fundamentally short sleep period. It may be, as she herself says, that she is actually a rabbit demon. Rabbits spend long periods asleep and in repose, after all. I don't really remember it well, but there was a name I heard of the demon whose essence they put into me. I think it was Mother Rabbit or something. That's when I started getting all fluffy. So are my boobs. They get bigger the more emotional I get. I get fluffier and fluffier too. Yeah, that really gave us a fright like, whoa, Rabi's massive now? She's big enough now for me and Meg to fit in her pouch. But going into that pouch feels even better. It feels like the magic of being wrapped up in a warm blanket on a cold winter's night. Rabi Donna's fur is quite special, and my mucus immediately vanishes when it gets on her. It always retains its softness and fluffiness. And despite always being warm inside there, it never feels stiflingly hot at all. Neither does it feel constricting when it's sealed up either. We'd often be looked after in Rabi Donna's pouch during our time locked in that facility. Even now we still go in there from time to time. The thing is, it feels really good for me when I get to hold others tight. I wonder why. It feels like I used to feel really lonely and unfulfilled. And it's only when holding someone that those feelings go away. But like a hole in a container, I feel really lonely again when my partner leaves. That's why I actually want to always hold someone. Also, if you drink the milk from my boobs, you'll get a really strong feeling of satisfaction over you. Those two won't drink it lately. They haven't been going into my pouch much lately either, but they could still drink lots of my milk. Well, how do I put this, Rabi? Don't know. Your milk actually has a rather powerful addictive quality to it. Both Nut Dono and I had drank your milk and slept inside your pouch at your urging, and before we knew it, 3 days had passed. That was really crazy! There's some sort of dangerous ingredient in that milk. It did make me feel totally safe, though. And then while Rabi Dono was doting on us, she was trying really hard to make us call her Mommy! Rabi turns into something else when someone drinks her milk. I can't hold myself back when I see someone drinking from my boobs. Hey, Mr. Priest, why don't you drink from my boobs and be my little boy? I promise it'll feel really good. Yep, totally Mother Rabbit through and through. Wants everyone to be her little boy so she can love them. No, that is... Whoa! Hey, don't suddenly hug me like that! You'll be my little boy, won't you? Teach, I recommend trying to fight when her switch is flipped. She's the biggest and strongest out of all of us. Any ordinary humans got no chance of resisting her. It looked to me like she was going easy on me and Meg when we were racing to the security room. But when she gets serious, she leaves even me in the dust.